Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about taking big, complex ideas and breaking them down into something you can really sink your teeth into. So let's just jump right in with a question I think we've all wrestled with at some point. You look around and some teams are just clicking, and others, well, they're just completely underwater. What's the difference? You know the feeling, right? It's this trio of terrible things. You're totally overburdened, you have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring, and the stress is just constant. It feels like you're running on a treadmill that's just getting faster and faster. But imagine for a second, what if there was a map? Something that could actually show you the way out of that mess and toward a place where things actually make sense. That's exactly what we're talking about today. It's called the Kanban Maturity Model, or KMM for short. Now, this isn't some rigid one-size-fits-all rulebook. Think of it more like a GPS for your organization. It helps you figure out, okay, where are we right now, and then shows you a clear path forward. And that path, that whole journey, is broken down into 7 distinct levels of organizational maturity. Each one is a step up from the last. You start at level 0, which is, well, it's called oblivious for a reason, and you progress all the way up to level 6, congruent, which is basically a state of being truly built to last, able to handle anything the world throws at it. All right, let's start at the beginning of this journey. The first few steps are all about one thing, just trying to get out of this sheer chaos and build some kind of consistency. It might not be pretty, but it's a start. And you know what? A pizza place is the perfect way to understand this. At level 0, everybody's just making their own pizza however they want. It's total chaos. And if your one good pizza guy quits, you're toast. At level 1, maybe you have a recipe, but you're constantly relying on some hero to swoop in and save a burnt pizza. The deliveries are always late, wrong toppings, you get it. By level 2, okay, everyone's following the same process. But from the customer's point of view, it's still not reliable. You're doing the same thing every time, but it's not a good thing yet. Now, this next part is where the magic really happens. This is the turning point, where an organization stops just doing tasks and starts really managing the flow of its work. Getting to level 3 is a huge leap. You go from a culture that's all about firefighting and celebrating the heroes who thrive in chaos to one that's about smooth, predictable work. And honestly, this can be the hardest jump because it's a cultural change. You have to stop patting the crisis manager on the back and start valuing what might seem like, well, boring predictability. The kind of boring that makes customers happy. And that's the whole point, isn't it? By the time you hit level 3, something fundamental has changed for your customer. For the first time, they actually see you as reliable. They trust you. They know you're going to deliver on your promises. Okay, that all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? What are the nuts and bolts of becoming that reliable organization that customers trust? Well, it really boils down to a few key things. You got to balance the work you take on with what you can actually do, which means you have to learn to stop saying yes to everything. You manage the whole process from start to finish, not just your little piece. And maybe most importantly, you get really good at triage, deciding what needs to be done now, what can wait, and what you should just not do at all. So once you're reliable, the journey's not over. You push on to level 4. And here, the game changes. It's not just about doing what you said you'd do. It's about being tough, being robust, and making sure the whole operation is actually making money. Let's go back to our pizza shop, a level 4 pizza shop. It can handle the Super Bowl rush, no problem. The phones are ringing off the hook, orders are flying in, but the system doesn't even flinch. Pizzas get out on time, they're delicious, customers are happy, and the owner is making a healthy profit. That, right there, is robustness. Now we're getting to the final stages of the journey. This is where we go beyond just being good and start reaching for real, lasting mastery. We're talking about building something truly special. Level 5 is all about creating what's called a Kaizen culture. Kaizen is just a fancy word for continuous improvement, but here's the key. It's not a suggestion box in the break room. It's baked into the company's DNA. Everyone, and I mean everyone, feels like it's their job to make things a little bit better every single day. The whole company becomes a learning machine. And finally, we reach the summit, level 6. These are the organizations that are truly built to last. They're what's called anti-fragile. They don't just survive stress, they actually get stronger from it. They're able to ask the really hard questions like, should we even be in this business anymore? And then completely reinvent themselves to thrive for decades. I love this because it shows how the whole mindset of the company changes. At the start, it's all about us. It's internal, it's tribal. Then, at level 3, that big shift happens, and it becomes all about the customer. Why do we even exist? And then at the highest levels, it becomes about pure mastery. What should we be doing, and how can we be the absolute best at it? Okay, let's wrap this up. We've gone on a whole journey here, so what's the big takeaway? Why does any of this really matter to you? Look, this isn't just some academic exercise. The KMM offers a path to real, concrete benefits. We're talking about less stress for your people, work that's actually predictable, the ability to adapt, better financial results, and yeah, making sure your organization is still around in 10, 20, or 50 years. When you boil it all down, the Kanban Maturity Model is a guide. It's a practical, step-by-step way to turn a chaotic workplace into one that's not just effective, but reliable and truly resilient. And the point isn't to perfectly follow some framework. It's about starting a journey. So the real question isn't about the model. It's about you. We've just shown you the map. Where are you and your team starting from?